Tell me about your mistakes, Kim. I was kind of excited to hear you mention that you've learned a lot from your mistakes. Well, what do you mean by that? And what were some of the ones that taught you the most?
Oh boy. So mistakes, I think that's what holds people back. You go to school and you come out of school scared to death of making a mistake, because in school you're punished for making a mistake. You get an F, you get ridiculed, you get red X's all over the place. You're actually programmed in school not to make mistakes. The only way a person learns is by making a mistake. We talk about, if you're riding a bicycle, you have to fall off several times before you learn how to ride. Anytime you're doing something new, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down. If it's money, if it's business, if it's sports, I'm learning pickleball. I'm making a lot of mistakes, but I'm getting better every single time. And Thomas Edison, he said, I love his saying. He said, I failed my way to success. And every time so what we do in our company is we encourage people to make mistakes, make them faster every single day, make more mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes. But every time we make a mistake, we step back and go, okay, what did we learn? Because that's the only way when I'm up against it. I hate making mistakes. It's still ingrained in me. But now I look at it, I'm like, okay, so here was the mistake. Let's sit down, let's regroup. What did we learn? What didn't we do? And that is how you propel your growth. That's where real learning happens, because you're out there doing it every time. There's a piece, Brian, to this that I didn't understand so well until now. Every time you take an action, every time you're in motion, every time there is feedback. Every time. So you touch a hot stove and you burn your finger, that's feedback. And whenever we take an action in our business, when I take an action in life, you really have to pay attention to the feedback. And I didn't understand that so clearly as I do now, because oftentimes we ignore the feedback. We don't take it. And it's the best gift possible. So just the other day, we were putting this online cash flow game, working on this project, this initiative. And we made an assumption that was so wrong. It was like the foundational assumption of this entire project. And we were wrong. And we're like, oh my God, I can't even believe we did that. And so we sat down around the table and we're like, okay, so what do we do? What did we learn? How do we regroup? Now the initiative went from being this big to being this big because of that assumption, because we made that mistake. So I think people are so afraid of making mistakes that they don't take any action, and nothing happens. Einstein says nothing happens unless something moves. You got to move. You got to stay in motion. We call them precessional effects. When you're in motion, all this other stuff, because of that motion you're taking, all these other things are happening around it that you may or may never know about. But it's getting out there and doing it, allowing the failures to happen and learning from the failures. I think that's the key. I think that's the key to life. And often, and I was just going to add one other thing, Brian, is often too, it's the fear of making mistakes, and it's breaking through those fears. I know we all face fears every day. And when I face a fear and I break through it, that's where real magic happens. So it's you got to change that mindset around fear and mistakes. And if you just make a mistake, just look and say, a mistake just shows you something you didn't know. That's all it is. It just shows you something you didn't know.
Yeah, but we just have to fight through the programming that we all went through in that public education system that was invented here in Britain during the Industrial Revolution to take these pesky little things running around, which were the workers' kids, and turn them into workers, right? Yeah. You stuck them in these classrooms, and if you could sit there for 12 hours doing repetitive tasks and doing what you're told, then you're the perfect worker.
Yeah, perfect.
Like you said,
worker.
Don't make a mistake. Don't challenge the authority. And I always tell my students, I'm like, do you think, Elon Musk got rich by not making a mistake, by not taking chances? Like all of our heroes in business do that. And yet sometimes we go back to the default programming. So yeah, you got to force yourself out of that, like you said, to make those mistakes. And taking action is always better. You're not going to learn without that action, are you? You're just not.
No, never. You've got to take action to grow, to learn, to be successful. And back to the schools, they've done these studies on the worst way people learn. The worst way is make them sit down and lecture to them and read. Those are the worst ways. And what are these kids in school? They're sitting at a desk. They can't move. Movement is really good. They can't move, and they're being lectured to. And they wonder why. And I think one of the biggest crimes of the school system is that kids come out of school thinking they're dumb, and they're not. Or the other side of it, kids come out of school thinking they're smart, and they're not.
Right.
They're smart in the academic world, but they're not smart in the real world. There's so little that transfers over from school to the real world. Actually, what you do in the real world is opposite of what they teach you in school. You want to make mistakes. You want to cooperate, learn together. In school, you have to do it by yourself. You have to do it on your own. Well, in the real world, you need a team. You need other people around you. So actually, the way school teaches is opposite of what it takes to be successful in the real world.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.